Because if it was not for Aizen, I don't think the Bleach was going to take off as much as it did. And hello, everyone. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. So we are back. It's been a while. Yes, it has been a while since our last episode, and we are back. I am hoping that the audio is slightly better than before, and we are back with our reviewing of articles and giving our 2 cents opinion that may or may not matter, but let's get going. And let's get started. So, number 10, Naruto Shippuden fell off after Pain's defeat. I don't think so. I mean, the Pain fight to me, Pain fight, was actually quite unexpected. I didn't think it was going to happen that soon. But it was also very interesting, and because the fight was all nice and everything, but that's I would not call it the point where it fell off, because it always gave the feeling that there is so much more. Because clearly Pain was not the leader of the Akatsuki that we thought he was. So on this one, I will have to disagree. Like, did it fall off after the Pain fight? Not really. Did it fall off because of Kaguya? We can make an argument for that. Madara's fight was is like the ninja war for me is still on in Naruto. It's it's one of the greatest war, minus certain things, and also the fact that what's his name, Madara was not the final villain, but still, much respect to the. So I will have to disagree with this one. Next one, Bleach struggled to recover after Aizen's fall. Did it fall to recover? This one is a bit more complicated. You see, because I think Aizen as a villain was so good. Aizen as a villain was so. I think he had everything, the charisma, the everything. It's just it was planned all along. That's the thing, and I think the villain after Aizen could not match the hype of Aizen, or the because if it was not for Aizen, I don't think the Bleach was going to take off as much as it did. And also, there was enough time to develop Aizen, which resulted in him feeling like there is no true villain like him. So anyone that comes after Aizen, unless there is a proper time to develop him, obviously, yeah. So for this one, I'm like 50-50. Like Aizen, I think he was Bleach. Aizen made Bleach what it is. And the second villain I can think of is You Are Back, or You Watch. I think You Are Back sort of picked up the the slack. But I think in terms of ranking, Aizen would be the best villain in Bleach, followed by You Are Back, You Watch, You Are Back, whatever his name is, and Ginjo and all the others. I think there's more. But yeah, I'm 50-50 on this. Like I think the it's not that the others were bad, it's just that Aizen was so good that it becomes extremely difficult to recreate the same Aizen feeling with the other villain, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, I will stick to a 50-50 on this one. So, let's get to the next one. Dragon Ball Z declined after Cell's defeat. I would say after the Buu saga, but also not really. That's the thing with Dragon Ball. It's to me, it's all. I think Dragon Ball sort of has its consistency about itself. It's yes, sort of repeats itself, where there's a villain and then we struggle to defeat him, and maybe someone dies, and then we unlock new power, and then we beat him. I think the thing about the Cell saga is because maybe the highlight was more on Gohan than Goku, but in the end, the formula is basically the same. So um, I would, yeah, with Dragon Ball, I do not agree. Like if I think of Dragon Ball Z, villain wise, Cell and Boo would be probably at the top of the food chain, probably. But still, like in terms of, I don't think it fell off. Like I think about it. I think the thing with Cell is, as they will say, if Cell was aura farming and Boo was just a pure villain. well, after they split, then you get the bad boo from the good boo. That one was just villain for the sake of villainy, as Cell was more trying to show off basically. But they all have their qualities, but that I don't see any overtaking the others. So Dragon Ball did not really fall off after that. Case in point, it's still going on because the Dragon Ball Super, Daima, and all of those. Like if it fell off and people dropped it, it was going to stop. One Punch Man lost momentum after Boros' defeat. I really do not agree with this one. And also, I've been reading One Punch Man. I think it loses steam after the Garo fight. Not that it loses steam, it's just okay. I think let me put it like this: like, I don't agree with One Punch Man. I think the thing is, the thing with Boro is maybe the first time in One Punch that he sort of started fighting seriously, but he did not lose steam. One Piece could not stop the Flamingo's downfall. No, 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 no. This one I have to disagree. Like, the Flamingo, let's be honest here, is a great villain. But I think the thing with One Piece is that the author, Oda Sensei, is sort of established multiple villains, not all at the same time, like you see in other animes and stuff. You'll be like, let's say in this arc, the villain is established, and this other arc, the villain is established at the beginning, and the next arc, the villain is established at the beginning, and at the end, he must be defeated. It sort of goes like that with One Piece, but we sort of also know from the get-go that Doflamingo would be a villain, or let's say anyone that was in the Shichibukai at that point was going to be a villain that Luffy would probably, not necessarily, would have to fight the villains. We know that Luffy is going to fight the Marine, the Kainus, and all of those. We knew that also the Yonkos, Luffy would have to fight them. It's not necessary that it has to happen, but the thing we also knew that there's already, what's his name, Blackbeard, that it's nonsense against the Ace, and it would have to be fought. So there's sort of a pool of people that we knew from the get-go that have the potential to be villains, and amongst them, one of the most charismatic. I think it comes down to charisma. One of the most charismatic is Doflamingo.
俺の名はドン・キホーテ・ド・フラミンゴ。
Doflamingo is a great villain, yes, but they did not fall after Doflamingo. That's a lie. In this case, I'm going to say no for obvious reasons, because there's many more that have been also established. I liked Doflamingo, and the voice actor of Doflamingo, I think, brought the character to life, and it was fleshed out even more. And I think there is a quality to Doflamingo that made him a great villain that someone like a Big Mom did not really have. Kaido sort of tried to pick up the slack, but we also know that they just what is it? Fishes in a sea, in a pond. When we know that they are greater villain, like the marine admirals, and we know that there's Imu Sama somewhere there. Like, I am more excited about the fight against Imu Sama whenever that happens, or the Goro says. Like the feeling I had when Luffy was fighting the flamingos, the feeling I am getting, like in this Egghead Hawk against the Gorosei, and the Elbaf that is coming in the future, where things are going to be released. But yeah, it did not fall after the Flamingo. I get what you're saying, but some people would be like Marineford was the peak One Piece. Like, I wouldn't put the Flamingo as, what do I call it? There's marking point in series, and the Flamingo was not in the equation of making the greatness. Well, he is in the equation of making the greatness of the show, but whether the Flamingo worked as a villain or not, the show was going to continue. As opposed to, if Pain did not work as a villain, like, Naruto would have been in a serious, precarious place. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the villains that sort of elevated the show from a good show to a great show, like Aizen is a villain that elevated already good show to a great show. Dragon Ball, okay, not so much. Boros is actually a forgettable villain. Garo is probably much better villain than Garo, so I do not disagree with the One Piece take. So Tokyo Ghoul weekend after Jason's defeat. I have not watched it, so I can't comment it. I will watch it one day, so hopefully. Rurouni Kenshin. Picked with Shishio's defeat. I have also not watched it, so I will not comment it. My Hero Academia slowed after Overhaul's defeat. Not really. Not really. He was a good villain, but I think because you and the fight and the animations and all the emotions that we felt when he was fought and he was trying to do whatever nonsense was trying to do against Eri, yes, we got all hyped and everything, but there are much better villains in the series other than him. I would even say that the paranormal what is that one? Uh Paranormal Liberation people are much in terms of a villain and us feeling for them. That arc for me felt much better. I think this guy was just a villain for the sake of being a villain. It's just this reason never made sense. While as the Paranormal Liberation Army sort of they're like, okay, I get what you are doing is not good, but I get it. I get it. He just wanted to erase Quirk for whatever is for whatever sickness he had, but it's not a pick. It's not a pick. And also, I think because we knew the ultimate villain would be Shigaraki and what was that guy? One for all for one. So also, it's a no for My Hero Academia. Psychopaths declined after Makishima's defeat. I've not actually finished this, so I get what's because I've not watched it, I can't really comment, but I want to say yes because from I think I've watched season 1 and 2, and yes, this guy is to me an important part of the show, and removing him is it's difficult. But yeah, but I can't really say. I want to say yes, but I've not watched, so I don't know actually what happens after it gets to the next. Fairy Tail lost his team after Tartarus defeat. No, no, I'll just stick to no. I mean, I like actually Fairy Tail, not more than Rave Master. So if you have not watched it, go watch it and go read it, and hopefully enough people go do that that we get new anime of that. But I think what you mean is at the end of every arc, like where you are going like up a hill, and then you reach the peak of the arc, and the arc ends and after the arc where the author usually take that time to I don't know explain things of the past or the present or sort of um, settles everything and begin to build the next arc. Usually those moments are sort of slow moments. It's should we call should we call them boring moments? So I believe that's what you're trying to say. I can't really say what you're trying to say except using the title that you've given, but I believe that that's what you're trying to say here is that after every great arc, there is that down moment, but that down moment is needed to wrap everything up properly and start to build the next arc again so that the next arc will reach again another peak. But after that, also, there will be a period where the author needs to wrap everything and then build the next. So I believe when you say lost esteem, it's because of that's down moments where it's rebuilding and mean, I think all the shows have that's up and down. So yes, some of them I understand that they are failing to replicate the success of the first villain. I get that. But most, if not all, the stuff on this list and did not really lose steam after that. Some stuff lost steam, but not after that. Not after the villains described in here. So yeah, this is should I say a bad take? Should I say? Yep. So and I think that's the thing is no, no. Dope. So that's it. That's the end of this article. And yeah, this one was a bad stake. Like if I was to score this thing, I would give you a 1 out of 10. Sorry, but do your research properly, or I don't know if it's ChatGPT doing that, so I don't know. So, in any case, thank you very much. This is episode 11, I think, or 12, and thank you very much for watching again. Leave a comment, leave a like, and a recommendation for future videos or things like that. So, thank you very much. See you in the next one.